Everything you need to know about the New York Knicks and their head coaching search is what we're going to break down on today's show as you're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. We're going to talk about Jason Kidd. We got to talk about the major update on Jay Wright, and there's two coaches the New York Knicks are interested in that are still coaching an NBA team right now. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, though, because when news comes out about who is going to be the Tom Thibodeau replacement, we're going to go live on the channel and get you guys a video as soon as possible. We put out free videos every single day, and I'm asking for your help. We're trying to get to 77,000 subscribers. We're 220 away. So if you're not subscribed and you love the Knicks, change it. Hit that big red sub button right now. Alrighty, let's start with Jason Kidd and all the news and rumors that are surrounding that situation. As we have talked about earlier on the channel last week, the New York Knicks are interested in Jason Kidd, and they are now expected to request permission to interview him. Since he is the active head coach for the Dallas Mavericks, the New York Knicks would have to ask the Mavericks to interview him. Then the Mavericks would have the decision and the power to choose if that happens. And if they do allow him to interview and the Knicks want to hire Jason Kidd, they would have to trade for him. This report came out on Saturday from Mark Stein. It is now Monday, and I've reached out to some people, and it sounds like the New York Knicks have not officially requested permission for it to happen. Not saying it won't happen, it just hasn't happened yet. The question now becomes, will Jason Kidd be the coach? From what I have heard here in Dallas, Texas, there is mutual interest from Jason Kidd heading to the Knicks, and obviously there is interest in the Knicks hiring and stealing Jason Kidd away from the Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately, the Mavericks, they hold the cards, and they get to make the decisions, and they hold the ultimate choice. Sounds like they're not going to do it either. According to reports and what we're hearing live in Dallas, Texas, is the Mavericks are not going to give permission to the New York Knicks to interview Jason Kidd. So what happens there? It might have to get ugly. Jason Kidd may have to force his way out of being the head coach for the Dallas Mavericks. Is he going to do this? I'm not so sure. We do know, and reports came out from Tim McMahon that, I'm not saying this is what he said, but it doesn't sound like it's the best situation right now for Jason Kidd. Kidd didn't love what happened this season with the Mavericks, and maybe he wants to make it ugly. Maybe he wants to leave a team that's starting a rebuild with Cooper Flagg. I don't know, but he's going to have to force his way out. To be honest with you, I'm not really in love with the idea of Jason Kidd being the next head coach for our New York Knicks. And there's a long list of reasons for that. And is Jason Kidd a good coach? Yes, he's beaten the 1 seed in the playoffs before. He's gotten to the NBA Finals. He's gotten to the conference finals. He was able to have this Mavericks team clicking at an all-time level just last year with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, and the crew that they had. But he's just not what I am looking for, and I'm hoping he's not what the New York Knicks are looking for in their next guy. Because you have Jalen Brunson, obviously has ties to Jason Kidd. Good relationship there. He was the head coach of Brunson when he was a Maverick, and they really like each other. But I'm over just hiring people because they have a good relationship with Jalen Brunson. That got us this far. We got to do something else to take us to that next level. You need someone that can unlock the two-man offensive game of Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns if those are the two guys that you are going to build this franchise around. Tom Thibodeau is a good coach. He didn't have the keys to unlock the vehicle of that offense. And Jason Kidd, he does not either. Kidd is a really good defensive head coach. And I want the Knicks to still have strong defensive principles. But he's also a relationship type of guy. He's known for having great relationships with Luka Doncic, why he was upset he was traded. Relationships with Kyrie Irving. Relationships with Anthony Davis. Relationships with Jalen Brunson. He's not known for this exotic, ball-moving, forward-thinking offense playing 5 out. That's just not his style. Maybe he changes that way if he becomes this coach, but he didn't do it with the Nets, he didn't do it with the Bucks, and he has not done it with the Mavericks. Jason Kidd is a coach that relies on ISO offense. ISOs with Luka Doncic. Maybe that's just what you have to do with Luka. But then it turned into ISOs with Kyrie Irving. And also, he plays his starters a lot of minutes. Luka Doncic played a lot of minutes. Kyrie Irving was top 10 in minutes played this year, and then he got hurt. And we all heard why the New York Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. He was very strong in his ways. He's a defensive coach. He lacked offensive IQ, and he relied on his starters a lot. Very similar to Jason Kidd. And to be honest with you, there is only one reason to hire Jason Kidd. I'm not a fan of him as being the head coach unless the New York Knicks go out and make the move as to why you would hire Jason Kidd. If you want the video of what I'm alluding to and why I am kind of choosing my words wisely as to the one reason the Knicks would hire Jason Kidd, subscribe to the channel and type me in the comments section. I haven't been given the authority to spread the news yet, but just know there's a rhyme and there's a reason why Jason Kidd is potentially the Knicks' next head coach. If you want that video, subscribe and type me. I also got to talk about the latest news on the coaching search, a name that has popped up. We're also talking about Luke Walton as a name to keep an eye on. We'll break all that down coming up in a second. But first, I got to give a major shout out to our proud sponsor, Factor. And if you use our promo code KnicksChat50OFF, you get 50% off your first order with free shipping. Summer is here, which means more sun and more daylight and more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours in the house cooking. That's where Factor comes in. Factor, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating as well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I use this, and you should too. I'm someone that doesn't have that much time as I cover the Knicks and I cover the Giants, and they're always busy, and I don't have time to go to the grocery stores to pick out the healthy ingredients, then cook those healthy ingredients, and then eat them. Why I love Factor is they're fresh, never frozen, and all you have to do is put them in the microwave for 2 minutes. I'm a big fan. You guys should get hooked up with them. If I had needed this product, it's what I'd use all summer long, and I am going to use it all summer long. Get started at factormeals.com/KnicksChat50OFF and use code KnicksChat50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code KnicksChat50OFF at factormeals.com/KnicksChat50OFF. 50% off plus free shipping. factormeals.com/KnicksChat50OFF. All right, there's been a lot of talk about, is Jay Wright going to be in the candidate pool for the New York Knicks? Are the Knicks going to pursue Jay Wright? And reports are coming out that Jay Wright has essentially told the New York Knicks, I'm happy where I'm at. I don't want to coach anymore. Leon Rose has a good relationship with Jay Wright as well, and Stephen Bondy broke the news saying Jay Wright is not a candidate for the vacant Knicks job. He and Leon Rose are close, and Leon understands Jay is happy in retirement. Josh Hart then followed that up on Twitter saying, good, stay retired. So Josh Hart having a little bit of fun with it at this moment. And to be honest with you, unless plan A for the New York Knicks works out, which we'll talk about on a video later this week, I'm not so sure the Knicks have a solid plan as what they want to do at head coach, despite firing Tom Thibodeau, who got them to the Eastern Conference Finals. We continue to hear noise about Ime Udoka, the current head coach of the Houston Rockets. It would be a similar situation or the exact same situation with the Dallas Mavericks and Jason Kidd. Knicks would have to request permission. The Rockets are likely to deny permission. And then who knows what happens there. And same with Chris Finch, the head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Knicks would have to request permission. The Timberwolves would likely deny permission. And then what happens? Look, I don't know if just the Knicks are taking things slow, they're keeping things out of the media, but it seems like they only have real interest in coaches that are already coaches, guys like Jason Kidd, Ime Udoka, Chris Finch, or college coaches that aren't really interested in coaching in the NBA. One, I don't think they're in a rush, and two, there's nothing they can really rush to unless it is plan A, which, again, we'll talk about at a later date. Who do you want the Knicks to hire as their next head coach? There's some smoke around Mike Brown. There's some smoke around Luke Walton. Maybe they go to a name that we haven't even touched on. Haven't heard much about Johnny Bryant since he didn't get the job as the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Who do you want to be the next head coach of the New York Knicks? I don't really know who it's going to be. I have an idea of how I want that head coach to be built and what I want that head coach to rely on. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is Leon Rose gets this hire right. And Leon Rose better get this hire right for a couple of different reasons. One, the Eastern Conference is wide open. We know that. Giannis may be traded from the Milwaukee Bucks. You look at a team like the Boston Celtics. They're dealing with injuries. It might just be the Pacers and the Knicks going head-to-head. More importantly, people that are in charge of making basketball decisions, general managers, president of basketball operations, whatever the title is you want to give Leon Rose, you only get to fire one head coach. And he hired Tom Thibodeau. And he has now had to fire Tom Thibodeau. And if you hire another head coach and you fire that head coach, you might be getting fired with that head coach. You don't usually get the choice of 3 head coaches unless you win one of those things that you put on your ring finger. Maybe the Knicks do that, but if you do that with a coach, you're probably not firing him. I'm not saying the clock is ticking on Leon Rose, but you better get this coach hire right, or it's going to start ticking pretty loudly. The head coaching pool isn't all that strong either. Like, it doesn't sound like you're all that interested in Michael Malone. We haven't heard much about Taylor Jenkins being a guy that you could be interested in. Jay Wright doesn't seem to want to coach this team anymore. All the coaches you want are coaches of other teams, and teams know that it's not always greener on the other side of the grass, and maybe we won't let our guy go because we'd be in the same situation that you are in. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll keep you updated every step of the way. Subscribe and hit that thumbs up icon. Let's talk about Precious Achiuwa here for a little bit. Reports came out from Steve Popper of Newsday. He reported that Precious Achiuwa is not expected to return to the New York Knicks. He is a free agent, and it sounds like his time as a New York Knick is done. Popper writing that Achiuwa seemed to be most likely gone amongst the players who were contributors this season. And it kind of seemed like the writing was on the wall, especially if Tom Thibodeau was going to stay as the head coach. It just didn't seem like there was a role for him. He was playing center. He was playing power forward. He's an undersized center, but he's not a skilled enough power forward. He's one of those tweeners that is not necessarily a good thing. I appreciate everything Precious Achiuwa did for the New York Knicks. I thought he had some impactful moments and minutes, and he filled it as a starter really good 2 years ago when Isaiah Hartenstein got hurt, Mitchell Robinson got hurt, but the Knicks are going to have to find another athletic energy big off the bench. Free agency, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. So we're going to find out what this team is going to do this offseason. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up, and let's go Knicks.